Hey yoga and fitness friends, thanks for joining me on the mat today. If you are new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I'm Vicky with UPLIFT Yoga and Fitness. Today I have a peak pose class that will take us into Baby Grasshopper, Parsva Bhuja Dandasana. All right, so we'll be working some twists, a little bit of core, opening our hips, our psoas and hamstrings, and strengthening some arms and shoulders. As for props, you may want to have a couple of blocks, a strap, and an option for a 3-minute egg, just for an optional supported fish pose at the end. Might feel nice, but you can also do the same with the 2 blocks. Also, if you are using essential oils with me today, I have a blend I made called Confidence that has grapefruit, orange, bergamot, and sandalwood, and it's just great for starting to lift that confidence, especially as we begin moving into some arm balances. All right, let us begin in Child's Pose, Balasana. So knees wide option here, if you can, if that feels okay in your body. The toes come to touch, the knees are wide. Soften the torso down, the forehead to the mat, extending out the arms. Starting to connect with the breath here. Connecting in your space. Connecting with your practice. And taking one more deep inhale. Nice full exhale. Slowly coming up here into gracious pose. So we're kneeling and the knees are wide. And we'll just come here as we work a little bit of stretching and warm up. Inhale the arms up, stretching upwards, and then exhale, fingers and hands into the heart. Inhale up, hands into the heart. Once more. This time, inhale the arms up. Drop the right arm, reach with the left. Nice side stretch here. Inhale, both arms up. Drop the left, reach with the right. Both arms up. This time as you exhale, twisting to the right with the left hand to the right knee. Just a gentle twist here. Inhale up. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling up. Hands through center, and let us move to tabletop pose. So hands and knees. Hips stack over the knees and the shoulders over the wrists. Fingers are spread wide. Couple of cat-cows here, loosening the spine. Inhale, lifting the gaze, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the back, pulling that belly upwards. Couple more times with your breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling to round. Coming back to neutral spine here. Changing the shape a little bit. So this time, bending the elbows as you come into that cow pose. And then pressing into the hands, straighten, round the back, tuck the toes, downward facing dog with the knees really bent here. Coming back to the knees, moving through that cow pose, bend the elbows, pressing up, round, and lift. Once more. Cow pose, bend the elbows, press, round, downward facing dog, knees really bent. And then back to our tabletop. Engage the core here so the belly button pulls up, the crown of the head reaching forward, the tailbone behind you. Left leg reaches behind. Feel that belly engage. Cross the leg over, plant it outside that right foot, and look over the right shoulder. Come back to center. Left leg lifts. This time, keep it high as you bring it all the way to the left side, perpendicular to the mat. Drop it down, and then sweep the arms up and side bend into gate pose, so that left arm extending down as the right arm reaches up. And checking in on your hip here. So sometimes there can be a little catch, so you can have the toes forward, the knee forward, or the toes pointing up. Check in with your body on this pose. Arms sweep down. Back into that tabletop pose. Engage the belly. Lengthen. Right leg lifts. Extend. Cross the right leg over. Plant it outside the left. Look over that left shoulder. Release. Right leg lifts. Keep it lifted as you bring it perpendicular. Drop it down. Sweep the arms up. Check in on that hip, the position of the toes, what feels good. And then drop the right arm, reach with the left. Sweep the arms down. And back to that tabletop pose. All right, here, tucking the toes under, pressing into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here. And then find some stillness as you press into the hands, the chest towards the thighs, sit bones lifting, heels lowering. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step it forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift here. Here's a good point to get the blocks ready. Just as we start to move into our flow, fold it back down. Bend the knees here, roll up one vertebrae at a time. The shoulders come back, the head comes up. Moving into some low lunge salutations to get the blood moving. Inhale, the arms up, hands through center as you bend the knees to fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Plant the hands, step that left foot back, low lunge. Pause here to let the hips open. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. Keep the belly pulled in, the tailbone descending down as you reach the arms up. And then hands through center. Plant the hands, step the back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back. Pause in this low lunge. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, belly button pulling in, tailbone descending down. Hands through center. Frame the foot, step the back foot forward, fold. Bend the knees, root to rise. Hands into the heart. Inhale the arms up. Bend the knees, hands through center to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands this time, step the right foot back first. Low lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, arms sweep up. Hands through center. Plant the right hand, the left sweeps up for a twist. Release the twist. Grab your blocks here, shift the hips back, half splits. So the blocks are optional, hands could be to the floor or to the thigh. Torso remains long. Inhale this knee forward, low lunge, and then exhale, shift it back, half splits. One more time, inhale forward, exhale back. Coming forward again, tuck the toes, back foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift once more. Plant the hands, now step the left foot back. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Reach. Hands come down, plant the left hand right up for the twist. Release, shifting the hips back, half splits. Torso is long. Inhale, forward to lunge. Exhale, back. Once more, inhale, forward to lunge. Exhale, back. This time, lunge forward. Plant the hands back, foot steps. Forward fold here. Bend the knees, root to rise. Hands to the heart. Nice work so far. Moving into our flow. Inhale the arms up here. Toes come to touch. Bend the knees for chair pose. So the hips are tucked under, belly button pulling in. Find a chair twist. Right elbow outside the left knee. Palms pressed together. Lengthen the spine. Take the weight into that left foot as you start to lift the right. Take it all the way back. Crescent twist. Nice work. Release the twist. Open up now into warrior two. So heel to arch alignment. That back foot at a 45-degree angle. The arms open wide. Reverse warrior. Press it up. Straighten that front leg. Reverse triangle. Reach a little higher. Bring the arms parallel to the mat. Slide the left arm forward. Right hip back. Bring it down for triangle pose. Another option for the block here. Right hand to the ceiling. Feel the expansion across the collarbones. Right arm circles behind you. Bend into that front knee as we come into a runner's lunge. We'll take this into lizard pose. So the left foot steps to the outside edge of the mat, the toes pointed out. The back knee will stay high. If you need to drop it down, that's fine, just take it down. We're just gonna find the more active version here. Keep this left knee drawing into the midline, and you have some options with the hands. So the hands, either the heels of the hands are in line with the heels of the foot, or drop down to the forearms. That can be a reach for some, so you could also use the blocks here to help raise the floor up. Driving through that back heel, taking a moment here to focus the breath. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, coming up onto the hands, blocks can move out of the way. Front foot steps into plank pose. Find a vinyasa here if you choose. I'll take chaturanga, upward facing dog, to downward facing dog. You can find a modified version. You can take a soft vinyasa or just skip vinyasa altogether if you need to. Downward facing dog, our hips are lifting, our chest is pressing towards the thighs, pressing in that knuckle of the forefingers and the thumbs. Bend the knees here, look at the hands. Step or hop forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time toes come to touch. Bend the knees into chair pose, arms lift up. Moving into our other side, so chair twist, left elbow outside the right knee, palms press and lengthen. Weight comes into that right foot. The left starts to float up. Step it back. Crescent twist. Release into Crescent Pose. Drop the back heel, Warrior Two. Arms open. Feel that nice strong base beneath you. Reverse Warrior. Press it up. Reach. Straighten the front leg. Reach a little higher. Then bring the arms parallel as we move to Triangle Pose. Right arm reaches, left hip back. Take it down to the shin, floor, or block. Left arm to the sky. Checking in on your neck. If it's too much to look up at that hand, you can take the gaze forward or down to the mat. Feel the legs engaged, almost like they're drawing towards each other. Circle that left arm back as we come down, bend the front knee. Runner's lunge and moving to our lizard pose. Right foot steps to the outer edge of the mat, toes pointing out. Option for the hands here. Heels of the hands in line with the heel of the foot, or coming down to the forearms, or raising the floor up with the blocks and then down to the forearms. That right knee pulls in, trying to keep it stacked over that ankle, driving through the back heel, focusing the breath. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, come up to the hands, move the blocks, hands plant, step into your plank. If you need that soft vinyasa, knees are wide, ankles cross. The hips sit down as the chest opens upward, and then take it right into downward facing dog. So that's always an option for you. Bend the knees here, look at the hands, step or hop forward. Forward fold, and root to rise. Hands to the heart. All right, our next flow. Sweep the arms up, toes come to touch. Bend the knees. Chair pose. Let's find that twist. Right elbow outside the knee. Palms press and lengthen. Weight into that left foot. Right foot stepping back. Finding your balance also. Release up into crescent and then take it to warrior one. So keep the feet on railroad tracks here, just dropping that back heel down, maybe stepping the back foot in slightly. Warrior one, the arms reach up, hips are square. Hands to the hips here, straighten the front leg, lengthen the spine. We're hinging at the hips here for pyramid pose. Another option for the blocks here to raise the floor up if you need to, as you soften that head towards the knee. Keep that left hip drawing back, right hip drawing forward. Inhale up halfway. Bend into that front knee as you come into a runner's lunge, so the back heel will kick up. Pivot to the right side of your mat into Skandasana. So your hips may be high here, or you can sink them down and notice your heel may or may not come to the floor. That is okay. Mostly looking for the stretch here in the back of this leg. Find a twist. Take the left arm inside the left knee, the right arm reaching up. And release. Pivot back to the top of the mat. Find that runner's lunge and then step into your plank, moving through any vinyasa you choose. Into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look at the hands, step it forward. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Toes come to touch, bend the knees, chair pose. So now the other side. Left elbow outside the right knee. Twist. Weight comes into that right foot. Left foot lifts up into crescent. Release, full crescent pose. Drop the back foot, adjust for warrior one. Hips stay square. Reach the arms up. Straighten the front leg, hands to the hips. Hinging at the hips for pyramid pose. That right hip drawing back, the left hip pulling forward. Focus the breath. Inhale up halfway. Bend into that front knee. Pivot to the left side of the mat as you find that Skandasana, that side lunge. The left knee and toes popping to the ceiling. Right arm inside the right knee as we find this twist. Left arm reaches. And release. Pivot back to the front of the mat. Step into your plank. Find your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Let's take a cleansing breath here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Let's move into some static poses here. Let's start with our left leg. Fly that leg high. Bend the knee so the heel comes towards the glute. Opening the hip. Equal pressure into the hands. That right heel sinks down. Find some knee circles, one direction, and then change directions. Extend the leg, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest here. Take the knee just behind that left wrist as we move to Pigeon Pose. The right leg slides back. Option here for a block under the hip if you feel you need it. Keep the hips square. Inhale, puff the chest. Option to come down to the forearms. You can even use the block under the forehead to help soften the neck and shoulders. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, come up onto the hands. Let's roll onto that left hip. Pull the right leg around. We'll find a seated twist here. So the right leg outside the left knee. Left arm reaches. Those left ribs move towards the knee. Then just wrap the arm around. The right arm comes behind. Deep inhale to lengthen. Full exhale as you soften into that twist. And release. We'll pause here for an ab exercise with boat pose. So take the hands on either side of the hips, balancing on the sit bones as you lift the feet. Keep the torso long here. Option to extend the legs. You can keep them bent if you need to. Arms come up, finding that balance. Opening now into half boat. So the shoulders and the legs stay off of the mat. That low back pressing down. Try to pull that belly button downward. Arms can extend or maybe even take them behind the head. We're holding. Feel the shakes. That's okay. It means you're doing work. If that low back isn't staying on the mat, the legs can come up a little higher. And release it down. Full body stretch here. Nice work. Pull the knees into the chest. Roll to one side. Meeting in downward facing dog. So we'll do that whole thing on the other side. When you're ready, fly that right leg. Bend the knee. Heel towards the glute. Knee circles. Extend that leg, three-legged dog. Knee into the chest. Step the knee behind the right wrist, slide the left leg back, puff the chest, inhale. Lower it down, exhale. Option for the block under the forehead. Smooth, even breathing here. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, coming up, roll onto that right hip. Left leg comes around, outside the right knee. Right arm lifts, right ribs move, then take the arm around the knee. Give it a gentle hug. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Release. One more ab workout before moving on. Coming back to that boat pose, hands on either side, lifting up, lengthen. Open into half boat. Hands behind the head. We've got yogi bicycles, 20 on each side. Elbow to the opposite knee and change. That's 1, 2, 3. That low back is pressing in. Belly button drawing down. Five more over here. Release it down. Hug the knees. Open up into a full body stretch. And then we'll roll to one side as we come up. Seated stretch here with Shavasana. So an option for the strap here, if you choose. So the right leg extends, the left leg pulls into the thigh. The arms reach up. I gently rotate towards that extended leg and I fold forward. Here I can either just drop the hands where they fall, or the strap comes in handy to wrap around the foot and gently pull the torso down. It just helps you reach the foot, which is not necessarily the goal, but it helps to get a good stretch. So again, we're getting into these hamstrings. We're working in the T-band area to prep for Baby Grasshopper. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, walk the hands back. We'll change legs. So the right leg draws in, left leg extends. Strap handy if you need it. Arms reach. Gentle rotation as you start to fold forward. One more deep inhale. Exhale and walk the hands back. We'll meet at the top of the mat. Standing. All right, make sure you've got your blocks and your strap handy. Moving into another flow. Inhale, sweep the arms up, toes come to touch, chair pose. Here, activating through the shoulders. Cactus arms, bending through the elbows, the shoulder blades behind you, squeeze together, and then reach. Bend and squeeze, and reach. Bend, and reach. Bend, and reach. One more, bend, and reach. Hands through center, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Plant the hands, step through plank, option for a vinyasa here to downward facing dog. All right, taking a little more ab work but into our flow. Fly that right leg. Pull the knee into the chest here. Shoot that right leg out the left side. Plant it to the floor. As the left foot rotates down, the left arm comes up. So fallen triangle. Release that left arm down. Take it back, three-legged dog. Pull the knee into the chest once more. Step it down, Crescent Pose. Find the stability of the feet and then bring the arms up. And we're finding a standing balance here with funky chair. So a little hop, the left foot comes up, cross the left ankle to the right knee, bend into that right knee, flex the left foot. So we've got a great hip opener here. Hands can be to the chest or the hips. Focusing the gaze. Now slide that left leg all the way over so the foot plants outside the right foot. Forward fold. Notice the stretch into that right leg. Inhale up halfway. Uncross the legs, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Toes come to touch, bend the knee, chair pose. Here we have our cactus arms again. Bend the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then reach. Bend and reach. Bend and reach. Two more. Bend, reach, bend, and reach. Hands through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step to plank. Move through vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Fly that left leg. Pull the knee into the chest. Shoot the left leg out to the right side as the right foot falls inward. Right arm reaches. Hips lifting upwards. Release that right arm down, three-legged dog. Pull that leg into the chest, step the foot down. Crescent pose, so we're setting up here. Arms rise up. Drive through that back heel to help with the balance. Little hop, right knee comes up. Foot crosses over the left knee, bend into that standing leg. Hands to the heart or hips. Flex that right foot. Maybe sink down a little deeper. Cross that right leg all the way over. Step it to outside the left. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Lengthen. Uncross the legs. Forward fold. Inhale up halfway here. Walk the feet out to the edge of the mat. Toes turn out, heels in, and just bend through the knees as we find Malasana, yogi squat. Elbows to the insides of the knees, palms pressed together here. Lengthen through the spine, coming out of your turtle shell. All right, release the arms. Let's just come to sit here. So now we get to play with Baby Grasshopper. All right, so I mentioned it is an arm balance, but you're only on one arm. So it's kind of an intro level practice, but there is some skill, there is a little effort, but we're also building confidence. So remember that. If you can't get it, keep trying. Eventually, it will happen. All right, so I'm going to turn this way. My left leg is extended. Nope, my right leg is extended. Take the left foot to the outside of that right knee, that right thigh. My left arm comes in front of my shin. So I'm rotating now to get onto the outer edge of that right hip. Left hand reaching for that foot. If you can't reach it here, the strap can come in handy. So around the ball of the foot here and the hand to the strap, right? If you're reaching the foot, the hand to the outer edge, my right arm coming down into this Sphinx-like position, right? So my forearm is down, it's perpendicular to the body, to my torso. The fingers are spread wide. Pressing in. Here we go. There we go. Pressing the foot into the hand as you start to lift that leg, all right? My hip is still on the floor here. So now I need to shift my weight forward, pressing into this left foot and the forearm so that the hip lifts up, extending through that right leg. The focus, your gaze is towards your tip of your nose or to the floor in front of you, and then lower down. All right, how did you do? Let's try the other side. If you had a hard time getting that leverage to lift the hip off the floor, try it from a block. So you're sitting on a block here as you set up for the pose, and then you're already mostly in the position and it's just a slight shift forward for the balance. All right, so my left leg's extended, my right leg comes to the outside of that thigh, my right arm extending along the outside of the shin, the hand toward the outer left foot. My left forearm coming down, planting it, pressing hand and the foot in over here, lift the leg. When I'm ready, pressing into the planted foot and arm, shifting the weight forward into the balance. Focusing the gaze, breathing, building strength and confidence, and lowering down. Nice work. All right, let's counter all that work with some bridge poses. So we'll come to our backs. Have the feet hip width apart, pretty close to your rear, the arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Take a moment here, press the low back down into the mat. On an inhale, start to press into the hands, the feet, the shoulders as you peel the hips upward, lifting into bridge pose. Does not have to be maximum bridge pose here. Just creating a little height with the hips. Feel the knees drawing towards each other. And then slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time. We'll find that again when you're ready, inhaling to peel the hips upward, maybe a little higher this time. The shoulder blades can walk together under the back, creating more space in the chest. Hands can clasp under the back, the fists reaching towards the heels. Hips still lifting upward. Release the hands, slowly release down one vertebrae at a time. Take the feet as wide as the mat here, windshield wiper the legs. All right, extend the legs out here, finding some lengthening to help counter some of that twisting we did through the practice with Bananasana. So the arms reach overhead, full body stretch. Walk the feet over to the left, then take or shimmy the torso to that same left side. So you're creating this crescent shape with the body. You can stay here or take the right foot, cross it over the left ankle, take the left fingers to the right wrist. Breathing into the right side of the body here. One more deep inhale. And release to the center. And then walk the feet over to the right. Shimmy the upper body, the torso to the right. Find that crescent shape. Channel your inner banana. Take your left foot, if you choose, across the right ankle. The right fingers to the left wrist. Breathing into that left side now. Creating space. And slowly release to center. Very nice work. Pull the knees upward. Slowly walk them, hug them into the chest. Just a nice symmetrical pose here before we move into our closing posture. So for close today, for Shavasana, you have the option for standard Shavasana. You know, you're laying on the back, the legs extended. You can find some different shapes with the legs, or you can find supported fish pose. So for supported fish pose, I like to use the 3-minute egg because it's a nice rounded shape. It helps to lift and open my chest a little more. That comes right between the shoulder blades, right into the middle of the upper back, about where the bra strap is. So that'll be vertical along the body, and then I use a block under the base of the head. So as I lie down, find the 3-minute egg. You can also use the regular block here, either on the low or the medium setting underneath the upper back. And then I find the block here underneath the base of the skull to support the head. Arms relax down. The legs can be extended, or you could even find Supta Baddha Konasana here, butterfly legs, or a constructive rest. So either of these leg options, of course, you can take if you're laying flat on your back as well. And as we start to find stillness here, let's take a couple of breaths to help the body integrate this practice. Take a deep inhale from the belly. The ribs, feel the side ribs expand. Exhale, let it go. Release. One more deep inhale from the belly. The ribs take the energy to the crown of the head. Exhale, letting everything go. Anything that no longer serves you. Releasing the body. Releasing the mind. And letting the breath come naturally. slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Take the movement to the wrists and the ankles. If you are in supported fish pose, just kind of roll to one side, slide the blocks out so you come flat on your back. Find a full body stretch here. Hug the knees into the chest one at a time. Maybe sway the knees from side to side. Roll to one side, use that same arm as a pillow. Then slowly press yourself up to a seated position. You're welcome to keep the eyes closed or keep the gaze down. Bring the hands to the heart center, the chin to the chest as a symbol of gratitude for yourself today, for taking time for this yoga practice. And through this practice of Baby Grasshopper today with our peak pose, I hope you found or increased your confidence and that you can take this confidence off your mat and into your day. With peace, love, and gratitude, namaste.